Final game 4 shutout game. He's getting tons of double knockups. And like you called out in this game, going to just play the role of Peel, right? You can see the clear appeal
him get his leads that he really likes to play around has been huge.
Oh, here we go. Horn down. Flandra tried to predict the flash there out of Baitron, but he doesn't move because Shanks is getting hounded. On dropping the dredge line, Knight flied in with the Weaver's Wall. Now we have a really murky fight lines. Flash forward for On, gets the root on to Shanks, but Flandra perfectly playing bodyguard. It's going to cost him his life though. Knight, great flash away from Tarzan. The buckle makes it a trade, 1-for-1. But here comes Baitron with the Grand Starfall, shuts down Tarzan, finally on the board. Kill participate. AL are hunting for a flank angle. Kyle testing the waters, gets away from the size of Michelle. He flashes, but he still gets Unravel Earth stunned. Keeper's Verdict boots out On, as you saw there. Baitron had tried to use the Unbreakable. Here comes a bullet time through, but Elk has to cancel it in the face of 4 members of anyone's legend. Bilibili Gaming, they just stuck
towards
around
the mid lane right there from Flandra. Bin gets some alone time right here with this tower. Going to pick himself up 2 turret plates, and the TP now going to come in from Knight as well.
Wow. They
potentially think that there's multiple members on the way trying to catch Bin out. Want to give him a little bit of support right here and establish control before the Drake.
This.
Yeah,
oh, he gets
why would
canceled
you?
out of his dash. Of course, calculated, cold, and calm is Knight. And finally, one of his CPs manifests in a pick play. Feats of Warfare.
His chicken, so is probably looking to concede this one, unless you can pull something wild out through your bot lane and mid lane, as right here is AO. The Drake goes down to about half. Now you can see Tarzan is running his way over. He might just about make it. No, not quite.
With Shanks. I don't think he's going to be able to get in here. Kyle gets canceled out of his grand entrance. Stun lock completely. Kyle will not escape. Baitron hunts him down with the flash, but Elk gets caught in the Graviton well. Arcane Storm doing a ton of damage. On is trying to bail out of this fight. Has Flash get over the wall if he needs to, but Bin has arrived to the play. Going to slam down the hammer, and here comes the Grand Starfall. The turn from BLG. Can Tarzan stop it? He's going to try and get at least 1 kill out of Baitron. He will trade, but Bin eradicates this play. Gold lead brought to the house and cashes in hard for Bilibili.
BLG, welcome to this upper bracket final. Nice for you to join us right here. Now Bin gonna jump in onto Flandra as well. Huge damage onto him. Ghost popped out of Flandra, attempting to get himself away.
Flandra. Okay, he's baiting for the TP. Horn, knock up. Shanks trying to get here as quick as he can. Gonna get the Graviton well down, and Flandra perfectly baits out Bin, using all of his health bar to do it, and, well, he cashed in the shutdown I feel like he earned.
Complete control. That one does temper it a little bit.
Awesome to see the big ways got BLG back to their winning ways, and this is exactly how they do it. They play the map like it's 6-on-5, and the victim going to be Tarzan and his jungle camps. No more buffs for you, my friend. It's back to the gray screen for a 3rd time.
Apparently, Baitron, he needed himself an even more aggressive pickup in the jungle than the Vi. I'm sure once they went behind the stage between Games 1 and Games 2, there was a big talking that BLG went, and hey, we've got to be more aggressive. If we play an early game-based composition, we have to make it work during the early game right here. If we give you an early game jungle, you have to gank damage. It's very much on BLG to make the map work for them as much as possible while their composition is in such a strong position. They're going to pop the Herald now down into the mid lane. Hope also takes a huge chunk of damage right there from the accelerated shock blast. That's going to make this tower defense that much harder.
Impossible, even. They smite away the Herald, doesn't matter. The Grubs, the wave was in position. BLG going through the motions expertly. Big to see after a game 1 filled with blunders. They are just potent on the map right now. They're going to turn their attention to the 2nd Drake of the game. Is this a spot where anyone's legend feel like they can fight? Flandra certainly says so. There's the Horn. Look at Tarzan, Keeper's Verdict. It's going to knock out the Knight to Leah. So 5 versus 4 on the table. Huge charms come across, but the bullet time gets so much value from Elk. He turns and burns all the health bars. Tarzan does steal away the dragon, so BLG have to find more off the back, and it's Elk flashing forward. Gets the first kill onto Kyle. Baitron flies in with the Grand Starfall. Hope sectioned away. Bin free firing on the chase. This is BLG just flexing their muscles over their opponents. It's only Hope to find a straggling kill, but one more auto from Bin sends it home, and Shanks is next up on the menu. The Drake comes at an ultimate price. It's an ace coming through for BLG. Unless TP? Shanks somehow TP's out. Okay, so he lives, but still a resounding win for BLG.
Yeah, BLG take that team fight massively. They grab themselves that tier 2 tower on the back end of that one. Watch in the replay. Just going to be the Ornhorn used to try delay this push push onto the tower isn't going to work to actually save it, especially not with the 3 grubs available tonight. You say the raw damage, and you're absolutely right. There's huge amounts of damage available to BLG, but interestingly, they're not looking to put all of it right here onto their mid laner. That's going to be a slightly interesting build early on.
Have to make this play. Knight with a huge Weaver's Wall, though. Nobody can get through but Tarzan. Keeper's Verdict whiffs. Tarzan's knocked up and thrown to the wolves. Elk finds the first kill. Kyle can't find the knock-up. Sure, Flandra finds it with a 2-man, but can Hope and Shakes bring enough damage to the table? Ooh. Absolutely not. There's no way to match the power of Elk and Knight, and this time, it may finally be the ace solidifying a disastrous Game 2 for AL and a supremacy of Bilibili Gaming.
It looks terrible for them in game number 1, but game 2 with a more aggressive early game focused composition, BLG are back. They picked themselves up the Atakan, they picked themselves up the Ace as well, only losing their support for it, and now they turn their sights onto the towers, onto getting even more gold for their early game prowess.
This game is completely obliterated.
Well, so he's still going to be dealing tons of damage through that Rylai's. BLG, they need to keep the pace of this game up. They need to pick themselves up the Baron once it spawns here in 2 minutes' time. They are well and truly in control of this game.
Too little, too late to just play the stall game if you're anyone's legend.
Yeah.
And as you called out minutes ago, they're going to have to contend with a Baron that BLG might just feel confident starting up, or maybe just look for a fight here on a Kyle who burns the quickness, gets some charms down. No damage dealers are close enough to punish Kyle. There's the knock-up. There's the CC layering. On is down first, and Bid teleports into front of 2 members of anyone's legend. Murky fight start here for BLG. Grand Starfall for Beichuan. Gets the flash out of Hope. Bullet time. Not going to hit on Hope as well, and there's the knock-ups. They've got Knight pinned against the wall. Another shutdown comes through for anyone's legend. They're down 8k gold, and somehow still finding winning plays.
Great aggression right there from AO. Questionable decision-making strikes BLG once again, and now they're going to have to try to fight around this Baron. There's no Keeper's Verdict from Tarzan to bop Beichuan away, and they are pretty low in the pit right now.
There's no bullet time for Elk. Bin doesn't have access to a lot of his spells. Beichuan, like you called out, can just go 50-50. Elk needs to poke down. It's Kyle gets very, very low. Tarzan, does he want the fight? Does he want the Baron? He's still jockeying. He can't make up his mind, and that cost Shakes his life. Tarzan goes down. What a shock blast from Bin! Completely eradicates the fight. Slamming the door shut is Gigabin and BLG, Baron and Ace.
There it is, in the 3 versus 5 AL. They're taking too much damage to the Baron. They're taking too much damage from the poke of Elk. And BLG, they nearly throw it all away. Like you said, they're up 10,000 gold, and they made it work for a second. But all of a sudden, BLG, they come back. They're going to take this game number 2. We get at least 4 of this series. BLG, they do not want to go down.
Just when we thought BLG were making the same questionable calls that ruined game 1, they call on their veteran, the 3-time MSI goer Bin, if they can win this series, just completely takes